Okay. Right. Okay. So can you see the screen now? Can you see it? Yeah. You should be able to see the questions, right? All right. So yeah. So yeah. By now, I think you have opened up your answer, and please take a look of the comments that I have written for you. Yeah, so the quick quiz you did, they are not something very difficult. Okay, as long as you have done your revision, you should be fine. But one major concern for some of the students is that you need to show more details. Okay, because every time when you're working on a test or an exam question, okay, the question is very short, but they are not expecting you to write a short answer. Okay, you need to make it as detailed as possible. If you assume, okay, the examiners know what you're talking about, then you might be missing some marks that you should have got. All right. Okay. So make sure your answer is very detailed. Is in different steps. All right. Very small steps. Okay. All right. So that's one. That's one. And I want to address for the first question. Okay, yeah. The first question here, talking about Keynesian perspective. Well, we know how to draw Keynesian model, so that's fine, right? And the question here, yeah, you have to look at this. You have to always focus on what the question is asking. So here the question is asking a decrease, okay, in aggregate demand does not always lead to a decrease in price level. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. It looks like a very straightforward question. But when you are trying to answer this kind of question, you need to realize what they are really asking. So here, this is the key. Yeah, they are the keywords. Okay. Yeah. A decrease in aggregate demand does not always lead to decrease in price level. And some of you, you wrote, something about this. Okay, the degree of resources, employment, and spare capacity. Okay, all right. So I can tell you if you're talking about this point here, I think it'll be much more appropriate when you're talking about when the AD is increasing. Yeah, because supposing that when AD is increasing, there should be an increasing price level. Okay, the pressure for increasing price level, right? Because when AD is going up, the price level should be going up as well. Okay, so when you have a question like this, right? When they're asking for the opposite, okay, question, yeah. When the AD is increasing, why there's no upward pressure for the price level, then you can talk about the things that we have done in class, okay, because right? People, they don't have a job and they just want to find a job. They don't care about how much they're going to earn, etc., etc. And also there are so much spare capacity in the society, so there's no need to buy more of them, and that will not create a an upward pressure to the price level. So yeah. So when they ask you about this, yeah, when AD is increasing, why not the price level will go up as well? Then you will use materials like this. Okay, but the question is asking the other way around. Okay, so when AD is decreasing, why the price level is not going down? Okay, yeah. So the focus is why the price level is not going down. Okay, and this one here, okay, and the points here, uh, they are not like perfectly suitable for this situation here. Okay, you want to find something that is perfectly suitable in this situation. And when you want to talk about why not the price level, go down, you want to talk about the sticky wages and prices, right? Because those are directly related to why not there is a downward pressure for the price level. Okay, so here I just want you to make sure that yeah, next time when you also see a question similar to this, you know what to do. Okay, yeah, all right, yeah. Is this clear? Any questions on the first one? Yep. So you have to look at the questions very carefully. Okay, before you make your discussions or your arguments, right? Because not all the materials there they are perfectly suitable for questions. Okay, sometimes the questions are quite specific. Okay, quite specific. All right. Okay, so that's number one. Yeah, number one is quite straightforward. You just have to give me a diagram and explanation. Then you will get 4 marks. 2 marks for the diagram, 2 marks for the explanation. That's all. And for number two, same pattern. 4 marks for the diagrams. Well, that is a giveaway. And 4 marks for the explanation. Okay. So here I'm going to be more straight. Okay, in this quiz, if you are missing label in your diagram, then I'm going to deduct marks because that is something you should not do. Okay, all right. Yeah, that is one very big mistake. Okay, because when the examiner when they see you missing even just one label, they are going to deduct mark. Okay, yeah, they are going to deduct the mark from the diagram. So please make sure when you are drawing your diagrams, you have complete labeling. Okay, not just the axis, but different labels for the curves, different labels for the prices, the quantity, the output, the price level. You know what I'm talking about. All right, all right. Otherwise, you are you are missing the marks that you are supposed you were supposed to get. All right. So that's diagram, and yeah, for this one number two, well, I have nothing much to talk about. So you just have to make sure your explanation is detailed enough. Okay, you want to explain what happened in the short run, what will happen to the sticky wages. Okay, and then yeah, because of that, right, when time passed, okay, what is going to happen to the workers and what will happen to the long run. As long as you are able to explain, okay, in detail for those stages, then you will be just fine. Okay, it's just whether you can explain them in detail. Okay, all right, yeah. So if you any contents that you are not so sure, ask. Okay, otherwise you are not able to make your answer very detailed. Okay, here we are always talking about elaboration. We are talking about discussion in depth, right? Okay, so you cannot use the same mindset that you have in IGCSE to finish any test, quiz, or exam in IB. All right, okay, okay. So yeah, not going to go through this one too much because we have done the practice basically. Yeah, that one, yeah, on that worksheet, it's exactly the same. Okay, if you follow the same steps, then you will get possibly full mark. Okay. Oh yeah, and also one more thing. Okay, one more thing that you should realize and you should always remember when you're explaining your answers, utilize the labels. If you don't utilize the labels, you will be penalized. Okay, so yeah, for some of you, yeah, you see, okay, yeah, you are being penalized because you haven't used you haven't make good use of the labels. Okay, when you're explaining the concept, when you're explaining your ideas, you need to show us, okay, how you can explain it by applying to the diagrams. Okay, yeah, you cannot just say, all right, so AD will increase. How? Right? You have your diagram, so why don't you tell me from the diagram? Okay, Yeah, do not expect me to understand everything just by looking at the diagram. It's just not. Yeah, that's not how it works. Okay, you need to, you know, show me when you are writing your answers. Okay, so refer to the diagram, when AD is going from 81, increasing to 82, then blah, 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 blah. You know what I'm trying to say. Okay, all right? Okay, so any questions for, the quiz? Any questions? Yeah, well, don't worry about it. I'm going to give you, more quiz, okay, along the way. So you have plenty of time to practice. Okay. All right. All right. So it is more importantly that if you don't understand contents, do ask. Okay, because not everything is in the textbook or in some of your learning materials. All right. Yeah. Okay. All right. Okay. All right. So well, let me just check it very quickly. Sarah. Oh, okay. All right. Okay. So they're all there. That's good. Yeah. See how troublesome it is? Yeah, when there's no exam and everyone seems very lost. Okay, and you still have to give them tests. Like, what's the point? Yeah, I don't see the meaning of it. But at the end, yeah, you just have to find a way to assess their performance. To see any inconsistency. Okay, so yeah, it's pretty bad. Yeah. Right. Okay. All right, guys. Anyway. All right. So. Okay. You guys all right? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I mean, you guys seem a little bit more demotivated along the way. Yeah. Well, me too. I just want to go back to school. Um. But anyway, this is something that we should hang in there, and hopefully it may we are able to go back to school. Okay. All right. Yeah. All right. Okay. So let's go back to the lesson. All right. So take a look at this. Yeah, we have gone through, the types of unemployment. Yeah, 2 days ago. Okay, and we try to apply those types of unemployments into the ADAS curve. Okay, ADAS model, right? And we know how we see the number of unemployments in different output. Okay, so in potential output, yeah, we come up with some idea in deflationary gap. Yeah, we do have another idea, and inflationary gap. Yeah, right. And then we started to go through one of the unemployment types, right? And which is no, sorry, fractional unemployment. Okay, and we have learned one more information about fractional unemployment. Yeah, not only is when people they are switching between jobs. Okay, yeah, fractional unemployment happens also because there is incomplete information between between employers and workers. All right, because we need time to find the vacancies as a job seekers, and for the employers they need time to find the suitable person for the job. Okay, right, and during that time, people they are being unemployed. That's why you have fractional unemployment. Okay, it's very natural. Okay, it's very natural. All right. Okay. And yeah, don't forget to hand in this homework. Yeah, next week. Okay. Yeah. Have you started this homework? Do you find it difficult to do it, or you just haven't started the homework? Well, yeah, go try it, and you will see. Okay. You know, like how bad it is to have fractional unemployment. Is it difficult? Is it difficult? Yeah. Okay, haven't started. Yeah. So this is just one nice piece of homework to show, okay, to show you like an experiment. All right, if you are in frictional unemployment, okay, yeah, how much time does it take for you to get out of this group and become unemployed, become employed again? Okay, right, yeah. Okay, so yeah, take your time and try, and finish the homework. Yeah, it's a fun homework because at the end when you graduate from uni, then you will have to do the same because you will be in frictional unemployment. Okay, right? And yeah, we talk about how to fix this, right? Try to provide more information, try to reduce unemployment benefits to push the workers to find jobs more proactively. Okay, talking about labor market reform. Okay, if you want to use the technical term, right? And they are all in supply side policies. Okay, once again, in the later chapter, you will have to learn supply side policies again. All right. So yeah, right. Okay. So let's go to the next unemployment. Yeah, you know what it is. Okay, we are just going to yeah, go to each of the employment. Okay, one by one, starting from frictional. Okay, so now, yeah, we are going to talk about seasonal unemployment. Okay, so can you very quickly just tell me, okay, what seasonal unemployment is? What is that? Okay, only have to work in certain seasons. Okay, so yeah, with that being said, then in all right, so in other seasons, right, farmers, anything to do in winter because it's not the harvest season. Unemployed due to work specific to season. Yeah, yeah, right. Santa Claus, exactly. Right. Okay, yeah. Thank you for all the examples. Right before I told you before I asked you to, yeah, give me some. Tourist guys, yeah. Ski, yeah. Resort workers. Anything else? Can you give me more? Come on, yeah. Come on, just give me. Try to give me more. So now we have farmers. We have Santa Claus. We have tourist guy. We have ski resort assistants. What else? What else? Come on. Hotel workers. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah. Anything else? Yeah. What kind of job is seasonal? Seasonal in summer. Yeah, farmers. Yeah, we talk about farmers, but what else? There are more. Serving instructors. Yeah, that's cool. Or just lifeguards, right? Yeah. So you know the ideas, all right? So make sure when you're writing the answers, show examples. All right, and you have all the examples, and of course I'm going to show you my examples as well, pretty similar to yours. Okay, so once again, right, talking about those labor, the demand, okay, is only for seasonal basis. Okay, all right, yeah. So in different seasons there are different demand for those labor. Okay, in particular industries. Okay, examples, right? There you go. Okay, right? Yeah, they are the examples that you have, and I think you have even more than what I have here. Okay, right? They are all seasonal. Okay, yeah. So after a particular season, then they may lose their job, and that's why seasonal unemployment. You know it. Okay, it's so natural. All right, yeah, because when you think about an economy with so many industries, this is just inevitable. Okay, this is just inevitable, and that's why they are natural, right? Okay. So here, it's just a summary about fractional unemployment and seasonal unemployment. Okay. Well, fractional is all natural. because you see, some industries, they are growing along the way. Some industry, they are contracting along the way. Some companies, they are growing faster than the others. And at the same time, as a worker, we would love to advance our position, our income, right, to a better status. And yeah, that makes us, okay, sometimes become fractional unemployed, right? So it's unavoidable as well. Okay. Yep. So seasonal employment, just like what I just just like what I said just now, it happens to some industries for sure. Okay. And that's why is inevitable. Okay. Right. So at the end, they are all natural. Okay. They are all natural. Right. Nothing too bad about those unemployment. So they are not very serious issues compared to structural unemployment. Okay, right? Yeah. See, basically same contents that we have learned from GCSE. Yeah, not very serious issues compared to the next one that we are going to talk about. Okay. Okay. So this is structural. No. Now we're going to structural unemployment. All right. So yeah. So let's go. Right. So can you tell me what that is? Structural unemployment. Do you still remember? Oh, okay, okay. Yeah, when economic structure changes, yes, right? And the example there you have it from Kirsty, right? Maybe from the primary sector to the secondary sector. Then yeah, those people who are not able to transfer themselves from one sector to another, they they are going to lose their jobs. Okay, and this is what we call structural unemployment. Yes, there's no skills, right? They don't possess the skills yet. Okay, so they might need some retraining, re-education, right, in order to get themselves out of this structural unemployment. Okay, all right. So, but here in IB, the structural unemployment is a bit more complicated. Okay, yeah, and the reason that you guys just gave me is just one of them. Okay, so take a look at this. So when we talk about structural unemployment, there are three causes. Okay, so first of all, that's the one that you guys gave me. Okay, changes in the demand for particular labor skills, right? When we are developing our countries, okay, we may not need that much primary sector. So those people, they are in the primary sectors, they might lose their job. Okay, right? Because of change in the demand for particular labor skills. All right, but here, okay, take a look at the second and the third one, right? Yeah, when we talk about structural unemployment, we also have to consider the changes in the geographical location of industries. Okay, because uh, uh, the industries and the firms, they are moving around. Okay, in different locations due to different reasons, and because of that, we also put them into this type of unemployment. Okay, and last but not least, we need to learn about something we call that labor market rigidity. Okay, right? Well, we'll go through that very soon. Okay, so don't worry about this. But for now, you just have to know structural unemployment is way more than what you have learned in IGCSE. Okay, all right. Well, you will see. You will see. So very quickly, okay. So let's talk about the first one. The first one, right? You know pretty much everything. Okay, but I'm gonna show you another variation from the first one. So this is another variation. Okay, so in IGCSE, we also learn one more unemployment type, and that is you know what it is, technological unemployment. And in IB, we put that into structural unemployment as well. Okay, all right, yeah, yeah. So make sure you know that. Okay, right? Because you see here, right, it's also about the changes in the demand for particular labor skills. Yeah, when the technology is changing, right? Does it make sense? And that's why, the one that we learned before, okay, technological unemployment, we will put that in structural unemployment as well. Okay, all right. So here's one example, right? We know that the mobile payment apps, they're getting more popular nowadays. Okay, like Apple Pay, like Alipay, right? Yeah, sometimes we use Alipay, Apple Pay, everywhere. Okay, going to 7-Eleven, try to get ourselves a bottle of tea or something, then we use Apple Pay, right? But the question is, okay, when the technology is advancing, okay, like here, the example. What do you think? Okay, the, so what will be the jobs that may have lower demand, and what will be the jobs that may have higher demand because of this kind of technological change? So let's go through here, the orange one. What do you think? Yeah, what kind of people they might lose their job because of this technological change? Cashiers, right? Right? A mining industry because of why? Why? Can I? Yeah, can you explain? Oh, the guys that print money. Yeah, that might. Yeah, shrinking primary sector. Uh, well, true. Well, that's true, but not very directly related to this question here. Okay. Oh well, the machines print money, okay, but you still need some 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 staff over there managing the machines. But anyway, okay, anyway, I would say, right? Yeah, 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 I think Michelle has the most correct answer. Okay, those people, those shop assistants, they might be affected the most. Okay, yeah, when the technology is advancing, we don't need cashiers anymore, we don't need shop assistants anymore, because yeah, you just have to get yourself to a electronic device and yeah, do your payment. That's all right. Yeah, but what about the jobs that may increase because of that, technological change? What kind of jobs do you think that may increase? Cybersecurity, yeah, cybersecurity, hackers, yeah, that's true, that's true. Yeah, I mean that's true. IT guys, right? Yeah, exactly. Okay, so there you go. All right, you know, this is what we call structural unemployment. Okay, when there is technological changes, then you will see some people, they are losing their jobs. Okay, but at the same time, some people, they might yeah, have more opportunities. And when we talk about this kind of unemployment, yeah, programmers, right, they are the people who will be in the structural unemployment. Those shop assistants, they will be in the structural unemployment because of that reason, technological change. Okay, so here, can you give me some more examples? Yeah, so examples, they are very very important. You use them in your exam. Can you give me more? So this one I've given you. Can you give me more examples because of the technological changes? Any more examples that you can think of right now? The structural unemployment based on technological change. Wait, nothing? Okay, okay. Yeah, so automation, I guess, right? Yeah. Uh-huh. Automation in manufacturing. Yeah, that's true. Okay, so yeah, you can use those examples as well. Okay, you can use those examples as well. All right. Yeah. Any more examples besides automation? Well, anyway, yeah. I think yeah, it's difficult to think of more examples, right? Because automation that's already that's already a big okay, you know, option for the example here. Okay, right. So this is one. Okay, this is one. Yeah, due to technological change, and for the second one here, yeah, it's just what you have told me. Competition. What do you mean, Rafael? What do you mean? Oh, okay, okay. Yeah, that. Okay, all right. So this one, I would say is yeah, it is more appropriate in this situation here. In this situation here. Okay, right. Yeah. So when you talk about the structure of the economy, it can be it's not very it's not only restricted to the transition from one sector to another. Okay. So the things that you have said, yeah, they should be applied to this context as well, right? But for this one here, well, you all know this, so I'm not going to go through this anymore. Okay. So you see here, yeah, right? When the primary sector is declining and the manufacturing and service sectors are growing, then you will see those people they are okay lacking the necessary skills to work in okay industry and services may become structurally unemployed. Okay, so those farmers, okay, if they are losing their jobs and they do not have the skills to work in industry or services, they will be in this type of unemployment. Okay, right? Yeah. So that's one. Okay, so that's one, right? About the changes in the demand for particular labor skills, right? Because now in this economy, we don't need too many workers who know how to, you know, make agricultural goods. Okay, so that's why there is a mismatch between right the jobs. Okay, and so as technology changes, right? Okay, all right. So yeah, so let's go to the second one, right? So the second one here, okay, about the changes in geographical location of industries. Okay, so make sure you aware of this as well. All right. So when you talk about structural unemployment, it's not just about the demand for particular skills of the labor. Okay, it's also about geographically changes. Okay, in the industries. Okay, right. So they are also categorized as structural unemployment. So here, when we talk about this reason right here, yeah, we want to see, okay, when a firm or industry they move, okay, its physical location to another region or country. All right, and those people, okay, who lose their job because of such movement will be in structural unemployment as well. All right, yeah. So here's one question for you again: why do you think the firm or the industry they relocate its operations? Why do you think they do that? Okay, lower production costs. Yeah, locate to cheaper countries, so lower production costs, cheaper rent, cheaper labor, uh, closer to market. All right, so yeah, so that's good. Okay, so we only need two reasons here, so that is very good. Yeah, so cheaper and possibly more a bigger potential market, right? When we are able to move closer to the target market that we would like to work with, right? Okay, so that's good. Just like that. Okay, we know. Okay, we know this now. So you can see, right, based on the first reason. Okay, the first reason, yeah, changes in the demand for particular labor skills, and the second reason, changes in the geographical location of industries. We know that they they just happen very naturally. Okay, they just happen very naturally. If you are a growing economy, then you will see this. Okay, it's unavoidable. And if you are a growing economy, you will definitely see, you know, advancements in technology. It's unavoidable. Okay, and at the same time, if you are, you know, a growing economy, you will see this as well. The industries and firms, they will be moving around the country or around the world because of, uh, uh, because they are trying to get more competitiveness. Okay, yeah, like higher competitiveness. So this is unavoidable in any growing economy, and that's why they are all in natural unemployment. All right, okay. So yeah, once again, when there is a movement from those firms and industries and those workers, okay, who are not able to move to, right, the economically expanding regions, then they will be losing their jobs, and we will put them in structural unemployment. Okay, so this is what you have to remember. All right. So when the firm is moving from Hong Kong to let's say Beijing, okay, those people who are not able to move from Hong Kong to Beijing, they will be losing their jobs. And yeah, this is what we call structural unemployment. Okay, right? But here, when you think about this reason here, what kind of social phenomenon can you think of? What is the major reason? What kind of social phenomenon that causes? I mean, that cause such change. What do you think? Any terms that you can show me? Yeah, you just have to show me some terms. Globalization. Oh, that's good. Yeah, that's good. That's one. Anything else you can think of when we are talking about this type of movement? So globalization, that makes sense. Yeah. Anything else? Yeah. Maybe you have learned that from geography. Maybe anything else? No. Immobility. Uh. Yeah. Yeah, but the immobility could be improved, in the long run. Okay, yeah, if you're talking about a growing economy, okay, and yeah, right. But well, anyway, okay. So this is not inside the curriculum, but it's just for your understanding. All right. Okay. Structural unemployment. Right. So why we have this? Okay. The reason could be way bigger than what we have just said. Okay, yeah, it could be way bigger than that. Yeah, talk about globalization, right? The world is getting, all the countries, they're getting more interdependent. Okay, now, yeah, you see, when the virus is affecting Europe, when the virus is affecting the US, we are also being affected as well. Talk about globalization. It also affects unemployment too. Okay, yeah, and when you think about your country itself, right? Talk about urban migration, right? Okay, well, this is something that, yeah, not really related to what we are learning, but still, okay, yeah, I'm pretty sure you have heard about this term, right? Urban migration, and yeah, it's unavoidable when a country is growing, is developing. Urban migration, yeah, you can see it everywhere. You can see it from China. You can see it from so many different, rapidly growing, developing countries. Okay, Yeah, and that is, the reason why you have a certain amount of structural unemployment in different economies, right? Okay, yeah. So that's structural unemployment. Okay, and when you want to explain structural unemployment, okay, based on the two reasons that we went through, okay, there are some diagrams that you can use. Okay, all right, and this is one of them. Okay, a very simple diagram. Okay, so you should take a look at this, right? So if you still remember, okay, demand of the labor in, well, any industry, okay, depends on the demand of the goods and services, right? And we call that derived demand. Okay, right? The demand for labor is based on the demand for the goods and services. Okay, right? Okay, and because of that, yeah. So here is an example. So let's talk about the textile industry in Shenzhen, right? So here I have scenario A. Okay, so take a look at this. Talking about economy structure. All right. So let's assume, right, the financial services are growing and the textile industry, the manufacturing industry is declining. Okay. So we are going to expect the demand for textile, okay, is going to be lower, right? Because nowadays people they like to engage in financial services. They don't even demand for textiles anymore, right? So because of that, because of scenario A, we can show a demand and supply diagram on textile, right? To show, yeah, you hear? Do you see that? Quantity of textile is decreasing, and we know that when the quantity of some goods and services they are decreasing, the producers they need less workers because of the reducing production. Okay, all right. So because of that, you can see some unemployment going on. All right, yeah, when the quantity of something is decreasing. Okay, so that's one scenario. Okay, so that's one scenario, and then you have another scenario as well. Yeah, you can play around with so many different examples. So let's say now let's go to scenario B. All right, so this time here we're talking about relocation. Okay, so let's say the consumers in Shenzhen they buy less textile than the ones in Shanghai, and that's why the industry they decided to move the industry from Shenzhen to Shanghai. Okay, if that's the case, then the textile in Shenzhen, okay, the demand is going to go down as well. All right, because they know, okay, the consumers in Shenzhen, right, the demand is getting less. Okay, so that's why they moved their industry from Shenzhen to Shanghai, and at the end, as a result, you will see the quantity, okay, will go down, right? So we don't need so many workers working for textile in Shenzhen anymore, right? We are going to move the entire industry to Shanghai. And as the result, you can also use this diagram for the explanation. And because of this clue here, this big clue here, okay, the quantity is going from Q1 to Q2. So we are going to expect some unemployment for this industry in Shenzhen. All right, okay, yeah. So right, yeah. So here are some key points, right? Okay, for both scenario A and B, because the demand decreases, so the quantity supply decreases as well. Okay, so you see here quantity supply. Okay, look at this line, right? From Q1, okay, moving along the curve to Q2. So now we don't supply that much because the demand is decreased. All right, and at the end, yeah, we don't need that much output. Okay, so yeah, just fire some workers. Okay, yeah, we don't need that many workers anymore. All right, yeah. So that's one method to explain structural unemployment. Okay? Yeah, simple. All right? Yeah. All right, it's just a simple micro economic diagram will do. All right? Yeah. Okay. So, and see here, just a summary of structural unemployment. Okay. So you see, from the first reason and the second reason, okay, yeah, the first one, we have two options. Yeah, talk about technological changes, talking about changes in the structure of the economy, right? And the second reason, right, changes in the geographical location of industries, right? And that's why we can come up with this summary here. All right. So this is one key word: mismatch. Okay, mismatch. When you talk about structural unemployment, you always want to use this keyword. Okay, because this one here, yeah, this is money. Okay, yeah. When people they see mismatch this keyword in structural unemployment, they know, yeah, you understand, right, that concept. Okay, so you can take a look at this. Right, for the first one, okay, they're connected. Right, so we can conclude that, okay, that is because of the changes, okay, lead to mismatches between labor skills demanded by employers and labor skills supplied by workers. Okay, you can see the mismatch here, right? Okay, yeah, the employers, they are demanding workers with other skills. Okay, but you don't have that skills as a worker, and that's why you are being unemployed. Okay, yeah, talking about the technological changes, talking about the changes in the structure of the economy. You can see all kinds of mismatches. Okay, because right, the expectation from your employers is different. Okay, it's different to your, right. It's different to what you have got. All right, and that's why there are some mismatches. Okay, yeah, and for the second one here, it is also because of mismatches, but this time it's between labor demanded and labor supplied within a geographical region or country. Okay, yeah, right. Okay, so more labor demanded from one region, okay, than the others. Okay, right, and sometimes you have too much supply in one particular region, but now they have switched, okay, the industry to another region or country, and that's why there is a mismatch between labor demand and labor supply. Okay, all right. So yeah, but at the end they are talking about the same thing. Okay, things that we talk about it today. All right, you just here is just a rephrase for you. Try to make it more beautiful. Okay, so try to impress the examiners when you are writing something like this. Okay, all right, yeah. So make sure you use those keywords. All right. Okay, so this one here, very important. Okay, yeah, very important. All right. Okay, so right. So let's go to the third one. Yeah, so let's go to the third one. Yeah, so we have three, because we have three reasons for structural unemployment, and so now we've finished one and two. Okay, so let's go to the third one. So the third one here, yeah, talk about labor market rigidities. Okay, and we have no idea what that is. So take a look at this. So this is the definition. Okay, so when we talk about labor market rigidities, okay, we are talking about the factors that prevent the forces of supply and demand from operating in the labor market. Okay, so it seems confusing, right? It's just something, okay, that prevents the wages reaching market price. Okay, yeah. So the factors that prevent the wages reaching market price. Can you give me some examples? What would be the factors that will prevent the wages reaching market price? What do you think? Yeah, minimum wage. Yeah, that's one. Right, that's good. Anything else? Any kind of factors. It doesn't always have to be about legislation, regulation, right? Yeah, any forces. Yeah, any external forces that will prevent the wages reaching market price. Anything else? Yeah, some organizations, they don't. Yeah, they always don't like, okay, their workers to have the market price for their salaries and wages. So what kind of organization that could be? Yeah, trade union, right? Okay, right. Yeah. So those are the factors. Okay, those are the factors. So we just give them a name. So we call that labor market rigidities. Okay. So here, yeah, when you look at the examples, yeah, minimum wages, right? Trade union. Okay, when you're talking about wage bargaining. Okay, or sometimes you have some more examples too. Okay, but they are still legislation. Okay. Yeah, you can talk about employment protection law, right? So in some countries they do have this kind of law here, right? So if you are trying to fire workers, you have to pay compensation, right? Okay. And also, when you have a generous unemployment benefits, that will also, okay, affect you know your wages as well. Okay. Yeah. When you have a generous unemployment benefit. Okay. Right, because people, they don't want to find jobs anymore. So for the employers, it's so difficult to find workers to replace the vacancies. Okay. So at the end, so when you take a look of the examples here, what would be the major consequence to the producers because of all 4 points here? What do you think? The major consequence to the producers because of labor market rigidity will be higher cost, right? Okay, right? Because yeah, you were not supposed to pay that much if you're using market price, but now you are being forced to pay higher than the market price, and the trade union is forcing you to pay a higher price. And when you have to pay compensation, you have to pay a higher price. When you cannot find the workers to work for you, you have to, okay, you know, hire people at higher salaries. At the end, increase in cost of production. All right. Okay. Yeah. Okay. And you will see, because of that reason, you will see unemployment again. Okay. You will see unemployment again. So if you want to show this in a diagram, how are you going to show it? How are you going to show it? How are you going to draw it? Yeah, what are you going to draw? Yes, supply decrease, exactly, just like that, right? See, talk about one, talk about one industry, all right? Yeah, just give it whatever industry it is. Okay, when you see labor market rigidities, okay, your cost of production are getting higher, and if you use a very simple demand and supply curve, once again, look at this. When the output is lower, then it means you need lower employment. Okay, you need to hire less workers for the job, right, or for the industry, for the firm, whatever that is, right? So that's why employers, they hire fewer workers. Okay, so that's why you see from here, okay, structural unemployment because of the labor market rigidities. Okay, and what about when we are trying to explain minimum wage? What kind of diagram are you going to use? When we are trying to explain minimum wage, what kind of diagram are you trying to use? Can you a price floor? Yeah, yeah. There you go. There you go. All right. So you see here, so many variations that you can explain, structural unemployment using diagrams. Okay. So for labor market rigidities, okay, you can use this one right here, or you can use, okay, the one that is, very similar to price floor. Okay. Right. You just have to show them. Okay, so here P2 is the market price, but now we are forced to pay higher than P2. So you see here, you see the surplus here, right? So that's the labor surplus. So here in this diagram, we are not talking about the price of the goods and services. Okay, we are talking about the price for the wages. And you see quantity here is for labor. All right, so this is how we can play around with the demand and supply curve. Okay, so here is talking about labor market. And that's why when you see a labor surplus, yeah, we know we supply more labor than what the society needs. And that's why we can make an assumption. Okay, the labor surplus here is basically the unemployment. Okay, because we know the quantity demand is right here. Okay, and the quantity supply is here. All right, so this gap here is the unemployment. Okay, all right, yeah, and yeah. So this is what you can explain using a minimum wage or trade union activities. Okay, all right. So yeah, I'm just gonna stop here. Okay, I'm going to stop here. Yeah, yeah. Okay, when you are focusing, on structural unemployment, okay, then you can use some of these diagrams. Okay, all right, but it really depends on the factors that cause unemployment. Okay, it really depends, right? Let's say when let's say when um, the corporate tax, okay, is increasing, right? So maybe, okay, yeah, you might have to use another ADAS diagram, because corporate tax is for all the firms, in all industries. So it really depends on what subject that you are talking about, okay, and then you apply, okay, different diagrams into, right, into the concept that you are trying to say. All right, okay, yeah. So yeah, right. So you have all kinds of flexibilities here, as long as it makes sense. Okay, yeah. So if there is an increase in tax and you are still using microeconomics diagram, then you are going to be wrong. Okay, because when we talk about tax, it's not just for, if you talk about a general tax, it's not just for one particular industry or one particular good or one particular service, right? Because they are the micro study. Okay, yeah, right. Yeah, when we are trying to study the economy as yeah, as one piece of a picture, then we use macroeconomics. Okay, all right, yeah. So that's all for today. All right, and I'll see you guys next week. Okay, all right, yeah. Okay, so finish your homework. All right, bye guys. Bye bye.